Hi, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what heritage means to you?
Hi, I'm Fiona Cahill. What heritage means to me is that's an interesting question. My mum was Irish, diaspora. Um, Came over to Scotland initially in the 70s and then into England, but she was adopted and never knew for a very long time anything about her family or her history. So for me, heritage is kind of tied up with those things, and it's a complex issue, and it's been about reconnecting for me personally.
Thank you. Can you tell us a little bit about what culture meant to you in your childhood, later years, and how you celebrate your culture?
Um, so I felt very disconnected from my culture. My mum married an RAF man in Scotland. His heritage, if you like, in Scotland was Protestant, Rangers fan. Didn't like her being Irish. That was really difficult. There was a lot of domestic violence when I was young. Um, and then eventually my mum had to do a lot of reclaiming herself, and her own heritage was part of that, and going on her journey to discover her mum and her family and get her own birth certificate. All of this stuff was all part of that reclaiming for her. So to me, initially, it was quite almost like a magical far away off land island. She would tell me stories about fairies. She'd sit in a fairy circle, and she was having like memory releases actually, but she saw them as visions. So she was having visions of nuns singing and hearing fairy voices saying "I love you," which were actually her mum's voices. It became clear. But my mum was like not like anyone else's mum. So I mean, single parent thing was unusual. I didn't know anyone else like that. But she'd read cards above a hairdresser's shop and do healing hands, and she taught us to meditate. And I find myself talking a lot about this now. It seemed strange, but now I understand that is very much part of Irish culture. So I read a lot of books by a man called Megan, and he talks about the other world and Irish kind of spirituality and Irish words for it. So that's very much what it means to me now. It's beautiful to have that.
Thank you for sharing. How do you celebrate your heritage and culture today?
Okay, so celebrating it for me is a process of educating people about what my mum went through, what we all lived through, and how difficult it was. And it's also, again, that continued reclamation that my mum did. I'm a single mum now too. I consider myself Irish, even with this accent, which is difficult for some people, and they can deal with that. It's 3 generations of Irish single motherhood, and I've got a whole history, a whole archive, and a whole body of work as an artist that celebrates this.
Thank you for sharing. Is there any last words that you wish to put in this interview today?
Whatever heritage and culture means to you, it is always, or should always, be about community. So it's always about you celebrating who you are and celebrating who other people are. When my mum first came to Doncaster, obviously we lived with lots of other migrant communities, and we all welcomed each other. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. What I'd like to say on the end of that is, so my nana was of Windrush generation, and my grandmother always had different people of different backgrounds and taught us that celebration was not just as of our own, but it was to be shared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.